listeners. My name is Lori Karen, longtime partner of a Massachusetts commercial lobsterman. 10 years ago, we were affected by a substantial closure well beyond Cape Cod Bay. A closure that not only exists today, but has been expanded and new closures since added for right whale protection as pictured here. Specific to on-demand methods, our motivation may be different from others, as we are hopeful this method will provide access to closed historical harvesting grounds as outlined in NOAA's draft Ropeless Roadmap, a strategy to develop on-demand fishing. Motivated by the loss of income, in 2017 we reached out to EdgeTech, a local acoustic manufacturer, for help, and they immediately stepped forward, followed shortly thereafter by Smelts. Both organizations have made a significant commitment of resources and have been consistent collaborative partners. Involvement with the Northeast Fisheries Science Center has expanded our work and has since exposed us to other manufacturers. Opportunities exist for other interested fishermen as well. Testing continues and has been expanded to include re-entry to discrete closed areas outside of Cape Cod Bay in the past 2 years and will continue in 2024. I would suggest this closure work has been encouraging both in equipment operations and harvest. Much advancement has been made, but unanswered questions remain, most specifically surrounding consistent enforcement methods, affordability, and communication both within and across fisheries. Our efforts are directed to finding thoughtful ways the commercial lobster fishery and the North Atlantic right whale may coexist, both thoughtful to the fishermen and thoughtful to the whale. We hope more fishermen will join in on this exploratory work. Your insight is needed. Feel free to reach out to us if we can be of assistance. The footage you're about to see is a glimpse of our work and is slightly dated. Although mostly filmed in 2021, the messaging remains current.
The original closure, Massachusetts restricted area that was put in place back in 2014, encompasses more than 3,000 square nautical miles, both federal and state water. And in summary, I would suggest it took away about 1/3 of our earning income potential. And beyond that, it was a desirable, hard shell, beautiful, deep, cold water lobster. Something that I would suggest also my local consumer would like to have as well. Many people have been affected definitely differently. For us, it was a hard hit.
It's an air lift bag system with tanks that brings the trap to the surface, and the gear is still attached with a ground line on the bottom. I fish a 20-pot trawl. The rope's all concealed into a trap. Special coater goes down, releases it, it comes to the surface. We've been working on ropeless because we've had no other choice if we were given. There is nothing else at this point unless somebody comes up, pulls a rabbit out of their hat. But that's why we've been doing this. And like I said, I want to keep the fishery going. Stranger things have happened, so who knows? Anything can happen. But I'm still trying to keep guys fishing and stay fishing myself.
It does work. And if you want to go and fish in a closed area, this is the way you're going to do it. And if you don't want to do it, then stay home. But when you can sit there, when I can talk to the lobstermen and explain it to them one-on-one, they'll listen to me. Some won't, whatever, I don't care. Most of them, 90% of them will listen to me, and I can tell them and show them how it works. And they'll be like, okay, they'll get it. But if environmental group or anybody, a scientist tries to go to them, they're going to be like, just go away. They're not going to listen. So it takes representation from ourselves to kind of further this along, which I get that. We've been doing a good job of it, I think. It's scary for a lot of guys, especially older guys. I'm not computer savvy. I want to go back fishing. I want to go back fish. All I want to do. I don't want to harm whales. I want to go back fishing. Scientists and fishermen work together and solve this problem.
EdgeTech's point of view is we saw a problem and we came up with a solution with Lori's help. One of the things about the system that makes it work is the trap tracker application that we developed. It's basically something that could go on an iOS or an Android device or tablet, what have you, and it controls the acoustic release via Bluetooth to a deck box that sends the acoustic signals to the unit underwater. The Trap Tracker app also has is linked to a cloud database so that whenever a lobsterman puts something in the water, it's stored in the cloud database and it's pulled down by other fishermen that are using the trap tracker. So it's like a virtual marking system where people worried about oversetting their gear, but with this virtual marking system on a chart on the trap tracker app, I can see where your gear is, you can see where my gear is, so we don't overset each other. And there are limits to where you can see my gear and where I can see yours, so it's not like you can't see my stuff 25 miles away and sit in your living room and say, I know where Rob's fishing, I'm going to go there tomorrow because I saw how many lobsters he brought home. So the Trap Tracker app is really critical in making this whole thing work for avoiding conflicts with mobile gear or fixed gear, allowing enforcement to see where other people, where everybody's gear is, as they have a special permission to see everybody, and they can also have the ability to go out and recover gear, just like they do now with a buoyed end line.
Zoom in, and there's a unit we just set right next to the other unit. Nice. That's the unit. Lat launch, 1033.
And it's been a big learning curve for myself and other guys testing this stuff, and also the engineers who design this stuff. And month to month, there's more improvements made on the gear, whether tracking the gear, how it's set, the functionality of the gear, and just overall the durability of the gear. The Edge Tech and the Edge Tech smelts combined, it's really easy right now. I have it on a tablet on the boat, which goes in real time to a satellite. It shows a surface marking. It's eventually going to a plotter or to the computer on your boat. And right now, I can hit up on my chart, see all the gear. I know where I am. I know what gear I want to haul. I can tap it if I'm unsure, if I'm moving gear around. It shows the code number. I just hit my units. It just hit recover. And I get it down to 2 minutes or under, or just over. The gear will be on the surface. You hit recover. It tells me how far away it is. Coming to the surface, it'll be right there. It'll be over there. Start hauling. My crew is very familiar with it. It's easy.
Success story is me going out, me catching lobsters during the closure with ropeless fishing and whales not being harmed. Be perfect. It's what we need. It's not difficult. From start to finish, it takes me 3 to 3.5 minutes from deployment till I'm reaching into the first trap pulling lobsters out. It's a little more time than regular fishing that we're used to, but it does work. And if you want to go and fish in a closed area, this is the way you're going to do it. And if you don't want to do it, then stay home.
We've made a lot of progress. I believe there's a lot more to go. We're a nonprofit. I wanted to really work with fishermen. I tried to really build a solution as opposed to a product. It's been pretty solid. It's been showing that it does have some real use in fisheries, but we have a lot more work to go. We have to continue to integrate the gear to the fisherman's deck and cut down his time of using ropeless. We really want to work on getting the acoustic control systems, so the transducers and the deck equipment, part of the fisherman's vessel, part of the helm, and that's the work that we really are focusing on now. And this will get tied into the marking conundrum once you remove a persistent vertical line and buoy.
I try to think of the future, like the future generations, not just myself and what I want. I want this to be an industry for my son, for my daughter, or my grandkids at some point. I want this business to be around like it has for the last 200 years. I don't want to see it dwindle away like other fisheries have, especially where we've taken such good care of our stock and we don't have an overfishing problem. We have a nice, healthy stock of lobsters. I want to see it to be passed on to future generations. The solution, my personal opinion is not going to be just ropeless fishing everywhere. My idea of the solution is going to be reduced break and strength ropes, ropeless fishing when the whales are in concentrated areas to keep the commercial lobstermen viable, keep the whales safe, keep them producing babies, keep them doing their thing. That's a success story.
I do feel that, we should have some consideration in getting back into those closed areas. I feel the word ropeless is so misleading. What this changes for us is how we access our gear, not how we fish our gear. And if we can find a way, to maintain that full-time livelihood, again, in a way that's thoughtful to both the fishermen and the right whale, it seems reasonable to me that we should be able to regain that access.
It's a way of life. It's a great way of life. And you don't want to lose that. These towns, you don't want to lose this. You don't want to lose these boats in the harbor. People don't come down here to look at outboards and yachts. They come down and look at the fishing boats because it's just, people have a love for the ocean and the romance of being a fisherman. How many people in my life have I seen that like, oh, I wish I was a fisherman. I wish I had your job. Imagine losing all that. Imagine not having that. That'd suck. Wouldn't it? People would miss us when we're gone.